Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I posted a video and I might get into the reasons for that later, but let's get straight into this look at the Genelec 8020D monitor speakers. Firstly, I had no plans to update my speakers. Although my AudioEngine A5 Plus speakers were not near-field monitors, they were more than adequate for my needs, giving decent audio when editing videos and very enjoyable when listening to music. But they just stopped working. I had a friend who's an engineer look at them. I also took them into a local repair shop. Neither could find any fault with them. Before getting into the warranty, let's take a look at AudioEngine's website. They actually offer an updated version of the A5 that includes Bluetooth connectivity, but in UK prices they came in at around £450. They also offer the original A5s with no upgrades whatsoever from the originals, but the cheapest I could find them was about £300, which is £100 more than I paid for mine 3 years ago. It was about this stage that I started considering other manufacturers. AudioEngine actually offer warranty cover for up to 3 years, but only in the United States, and my speakers were exactly 3 years and 1 month old when they failed. I contacted AudioEngine and they offered to repair them for a flat fee of $200, but I would need to cover all the shipping costs and also find an address in the States for them to ship to, as they would not return them directly to me in the UK. Not only was that prohibitively expensive, it also helped me decide that I wouldn't be buying anything else from AudioEngine again. One of the things I didn't like about the A5s was that only one speaker was powered, making the cabling look unbalanced between left and right. So I had pretty much settled on getting a pair of Yamaha HS7 monitor speakers, which had some good reviews and the looks fitted in with my setup. That was until I came across a video on YouTube that did a listening comparison between the Yamahas and the Genelec monitors. I've not been able to find that video again, but I would like to sincerely thank that YouTuber for posting that video. Even through a camera microphone and YouTube compression, there was a noticeable difference, with the Genelecs sounding much better. The speakers arrive in very plain packaging, and as they are marketed as professional studio monitors, there is no flashy retail packaging, which is even more attractive in my opinion. They come with a basic bracket and also an IEC C13 power cord. They also come with what Genelec call an isopod stand, which not only reduces unwanted vibrations, it also allows the speaker to be tilted. To take advantage of the isopods, I also required a mounting plate, which Genelec supply to match the size of your monitors. I had a couple of challenges with these. Firstly, they only come in black, and as I intended to reuse my old wall mounts, I had to spray paint them white. I also had trouble locating an appropriate bolt to fit the plate locally. The thread is very coarse and it's actually the standard for professional studio microphone mounts, but I managed to source a couple on eBay for a couple of pounds, which I also painted white. Before going any further with the Genelecs, I just wanted to show you very quickly how I upcycled my old A5s. Obviously the internal amplifier is of no use now, so firstly I removed the plate on the passive speaker to examine the crossover wiring. Once I had established what that looked like, I then removed the amp assembly from the powered speaker, which also contained the same crossover. Now I'm no electrical engineer, so attempt this at your own risk, but I knew that I needed to bypass the amplifier and wire what were previously the output connectors directly into the crossover. So I cut the block connector from the amplifier board, giving myself as much cable as possible. I then removed the spade connectors from the output connections. Then, using a terminal kit, including the cable insulators, I fitted new spade connectors on the block connector. And after a bit of a struggle, I reconnected those and finally inserted the block connector back into the crossover. And now I have a pair of fully functional passive speakers. Now back to the Genelecs. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you will know that I use a Fostex USB preamp. I had one very strange comment on that video where somebody appears to have thought I shot some footage upside down, but what I think he didn't realise was that the Fostex is actually underneath my desk. Anyway, as well as the USB input, the Fostex also has an optical in from the television and 2 unbalanced phono outputs. To fit the Genelecs, I needed a couple of phono to XLR cables, which actually run from the subwoofer, which I'll get to in a minute. Also, I had very little room to run 2 thick power cords to each speaker. The A5s only require one thin figure of 8 connector, so I purchased an IEC splitter as well as a long power cord and some short extensions. You can see here the inputs and outputs from the subwoofer. The blue cables are the outputs from the Fostex, and the white cables take the output signal through the walls to the Genelecs. You can see here the XLRs along with the old speaker mounts. I shot some very rough footage on my phone to show how I've managed my cables in this setup, using cable conduit or raceways to route all the cables that pass through the brush plates on the walls into my cable box, and also onto the side of my drawer cabinet. And this is the completed project. Each monitor has 2 cables going to it on each side, a more balanced arrangement, and you can see here the painted mounting plates and screws on the original wall mount stands. And this is how the entire setup looks now, which I'm really delighted with, both in terms of looks and also the audio quality. A quick reminder of how it used to look, and as I said at the start, I had no intention of changing those AudioEngine speakers if they hadn't failed on me. But considering how my setup looks and sounds now, I'm glad they did fail. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.